Okay, let's face it. The world of new AI tools is not just growing, it's exploding. And honestly, trying to figure out what's genuinely valuable for your creative work, it can feel like trying to drink from a fire hose.
Oh, totally. You just get completely drenched in information.
Exactly. Every week there's a new announcement, a new feature, a new, pricing model.
Yeah, it's incredibly tough to cut through all that noise and really understand the implications for a professional creator like you.
Well, that's why we're here. Our mission today is to take a deep dive into the crucial differences between Freepik's new Premium Plus and Pro plans and Google AI Ultra.
And we're going way beyond just the price tag here.
Right. We're digging into workflow, those really trippy legal implications we all need to get our heads around, and, well, the long-term value for your business.
We've really pulled apart the detailed strategic analyses comparing these two heavyweights. Think of it as a shortcut to understanding not just what they offer, but why they offer it.
And what it actually means for your creative output and your bottom line.
Precise.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Because what looks like a simple choice between two services, almost like, picking the brand of coffee, it's actually a story of two very different philosophies playing out in the AI space.
You've nailed it. It's not just about features, is it?
No.
It's almost like you have one company saying, look, we'll give you every ingredient under the sun, and another saying, no, we'll give you our specialized state-of-the-art kitchen with our, best chefs.
That's a great analogy. They're fundamentally different strategic plays.
Totally different.
So let's start with Freepik. They've really positioned themselves as the creative supermarket.
The all-in-one shop.
Yeah, you can access this huge variety of tools, resources, all under one subscription. And their big selling point, unlimited AI image generation for Premium Plus crap.
Which comes in at about, $24.50 a month. And then there's the Pro plan, which is more like $158 something.
Right, and their CEO, Joaquin Cuenca, he put it really clearly, restrictions kill momentum. So this whole approach is about removing those creative barriers, right? Letting you experiment freely.
And that supermarket idea really shines through in Freepik's aggregated model library. You get access to all these different AI models, Google Imagen 4, Flux, Mystic, Ideogram.
All in one spot, like a hub.
Exactly. It acts as a central hub for, diverse AI creation styles.
But here's the kicker, right? This is where it gets interesting. While the static images are unlimited, video generation is a completely different ballgame.
Yes, the metered video economy.
It's credit-based and, well, quite heavily restricted, it seems. For example, that Premium Plus plan, it only gets you 540,000 credits per year.
Which works out to just $45,000 a month.
That's a pretty sharp contrast to the whole unlimited image promise, isn't it?
It really is. And stepping back, you also have to remember what else is included beyond the AI. They've got that massive traditional stock library.
Over 250 million items I saw.
Yeah, huge. Plus, they bundle in some pretty premium third-party tools like Magnific AI for upscaling images to 10K and Topaz Video Upscaler for 4K video.
So it's definitely comprehensive in terms of breadth. A lot of stuff packed in.
Exactly. A wide range.
Okay, now let's flip the coin and look at Google. Their approach is, well, starkly different.
Completely. They're all about the integrated AI ecosystem.
Yeah.
Using AI as a core to deeply integrate high-end users into their existing world.
So what's the core idea behind this premium integrated model? Because that price tag, $249.99 a month, that definitely makes you pause.
It does make you wince initially, but here's the secret sauce, the hidden value, as the analysis puts it. That price bundles 30 terabytes of Google One storage.
30 terabytes, wow.
Yeah, and that alone could cost you $150 to $300 a month if you bought it separately.
Okay.
And it includes YouTube Premium, which is another $14 a month.
Wait, so hold on. If I'm already paying for Google One storage, a hefty amount maybe, and YouTube Premium, the actual cost for the AI features themselves drops massively.
Exactly. Down to around $85 a month for those who already need those services.
Okay, that genuinely reframes the entire value proposition for someone already deep in the Google ecosystem.
It really does. It's almost like a loyalty discount baked into the price, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And Google's native AI tooling, that's really where their strategy comes into its own, right? Unlike Freepik aggregating models, Google's focusing on its own deeply integrated solutions.
Precisely. Take Flow, for instance. That's their dedicated AI filmmaking tool built specifically for VO3. It comes with features like Scene Builder, advanced camera controls.
So it's not just API access, it's like a purpose-built application.
Exactly. It's a native, integrated experience within Google's universe. Then there's Whisk, their image-to-video tool using VO2.
Right.
And of course, Gemini, which is directly embedded in Workspace apps like Docs, Gmail, Slides, offering things like help me write and help me visualize.
It's all about that seamless, connected experience.
That's the goal.
Okay, so their credit system and highest limits for video. That gives you 12,500 credits a month for Flow and Whisk. Does that mean, how does that compare cost-wise per clip?
It means a VO3 clip costs significantly less than on Freepik. You're looking at a much higher output, roughly 83 to 125 clips per month.
Wow, okay.
So what's really striking here, as you said earlier, these aren't just different services. They represent fundamentally different strategic plays. Freepik is going for that horizontal aggregation, convenience, breadth.
The supermarket.
The supermarket model, yeah. While Google is executing a vertical integration strategy, deeply embedding cutting-edge AI into its own proprietary ecosystem.
Which means access to VO3 is a very different proposition on each platform.
Hugely different, as we're about to really dig into.
All right, now for the part where the rubber meets the road, maybe.
Yeah.
How do they actually stack up on the creative output? Especially when we talk images versus video. Let's start with static images.
Okay, static images. Freepik, using models like Mystic and Flux, has actually got a lot of praise for its photorealism, particularly for portraits, apparently.
Interesting.
And it's noted for pretty precise adherence to prompts. Sometimes the analysis suggests it even outperforms Midjourney in very specific logical prompts.
And it's that all-in-one workflow tool, right? Create, edit, upscale, use templates all in one place.
Which is a huge convenience, yeah. You don't have to jump between apps as much.
And Google, with Imagen 4 powering Gemini.
Also excellent photorealism, good prompt adherence. But their standout feature, and I think this is genuinely crucial for many, is its superior ability to generate legible and accurate text within images.
Oh, that's huge. That's been a pain point for, like, every AI image generator forever.
Exactly. Plus, you've got that conversational editing through Gemini, and it's integrated right into Slides and Docs. That seems like a potential game changer for workflow efficiency, especially in a business context.
Definitely. Okay, now, let's move to the cinematic AI battleground video generation, because this is where the differences become extremely stark.
Yeah, almost night and day, really.
Right. Let's talk VO3 access, cost, capability. Freepik offers priority access for VO2 and early access for VO3.
Yeah.
But the cost is pretty steep, isn't it?
It is. A single 8-second VO3 clip with sound costs 7,200 credits.
7,200.
So for a Premium Plus subscriber, that translates to approximately $3.64 per clip.
$3.64 for 8 seconds. And with only 45,000 credits a month, crunching the numbers, that means you can generate only about 6 VO3 clips per month.
6. A tiny handful.
Wow, okay, contrast that with Google AI Ultra.
Big difference. You get full access via its native flow tool. A VO3 clip there costs maybe 100 to 150 credits.
100, compared to over 7,000.
Exactly, which works out to roughly $2 per clip. But the real difference is the volume. This allows for a much, much higher output, approximately 125 clips per month.
Okay, so we're talking maybe 6 clips versus 125 clips. That's not even the same ballpark.
It completely redefines what access actually means for a video creator, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That numerical contrast is incredibly clear. But beyond just VO, Freepik does have that strategic advantage in model diversity for video, right?
That's true. They offer access to other cutting-edge video models, Kling, Runway, Pika, Luma.
So if you want different aesthetic styles or maybe need to prioritize different features, that breadth is pretty valuable.
It definitely is. Gives you options. Conversely, Google focuses solely on its own proprietary VO models.
So it really comes down to, do you want deep integrated expertise in one powerful model, or do you need that breadth across many different stylistic options?
That's a key strategic choice for the user, yeah.
And speaking of video, I keep hearing creators pulling their hair out over one particular problem: consistency.
Ah, yes, the big one.
Maintaining that look, that character, across different shots, it's a real challenge for AI, isn't it? What's the biggest hurdle there?
You've hit on the critical point: temporal and character consistency. It's kind of the holy grail of AI video right now.
You mean things flickering, shapes changing?
Exactly. A character's face subtly shifting from one shot to the next, it just breaks the immersion, and it's a massive technical hurdle they're all grappling with.
So if that's the challenge, how are these platforms even trying to tackle it? Does Google have a specific angle with Flow?
That's precisely where Google's Flow tool attempts to be a solution. Instead of just generating isolated clips, you've got features like Scene Builder, Jump to, Ingredients to Video.
Yeah.
These are specifically engineered to allow users to connect clips, to maintain character continuity, and build more, well, cohesive sequences.
So it's architecturally different.
It gives Google a significant architectural advantage over Freepik, which is essentially offering more disconnected, sort of single-shot video generation capabilities from various models.
Right.
And, connecting this back, the unlimited versus credit models, they have these huge psychological and economic impacts too.
Yep.
Well, Freepik's unlimited images encourage wild experimentation. Just try anything. But their video credits, they force caution. You have to be really sure before you hit generate.
Because each click costs real, credits, which cost money.
Exactly. Google, with its higher effective credits for video, encourages more deep, professional iteration. You can afford to try variations and refine things more.
So if we step back for a second, Freepik feels more like a production tool, maybe, giving you tons of raw material for existing ideas.
Yeah, like a content engine. Whereas Google AI Ultra, especially with Flow, it leans more into being a pre-production and ideation tool for high-end creators, helping build narratives and specifically solving those consistency problems from the ground up.
Okay, now for the part that could really impact your bottom line, maybe even more than features, what does this all mean for your business?
Oh, the legal section.
Yeah, this next segment is absolutely crucial because it moves from cool features to, legal and financial risk.
Indeed. And we're diving into the murky waters of ownership and copyright in the AI age. Briefly, the current situation, at least in the US, is that AI-generated content without sufficient human input generally can't be copyrighted.
So there's a baseline ambiguity for everyone using these tools right from the start.
Pretty much. Now, Freepik's position is that users are responsible for ensuring non-infringement, even though they provide a commercial license.
Okay, so the onus is on me.
Right. Google, on the other hand, says they will not claim ownership of content you create, but their general terms give them broad usage rights. Ultimately, though, the responsibility for legal use still rests with you, the user.
Here's where the critical difference comes in. Right?
This is it. We need to talk about indemnification.
Explain that. What is it exactly?
So, indemnification, simply put, is a form of legal and financial protection. The provider Freepik, or Google, basically says, if you get sued for using our product correctly, we'll cover your legal costs and any damages. It's their way of standing behind what they provide.
Okay, like insurance.
Kind of, yeah. A safety net. And here's the alarming exclusion from Freepik. This, for commercial users, is arguably the most critical point in this entire deep dive.
Go on.
Freepik's legal protection, which covers its stock content, explicitly excludes AI-generated content.
Explicitly excludes?
Yes, the source material quotes it directly. Does legal protection cover AI-generated content? No. Content generated using our AI products is not included in this protection, end quote.
Wow. Okay, so what does that actually mean for me if I use their AI images commercially?
The implication is massive. If you generate an image on Freepik that inadvertently infringes on someone's copyright, maybe it looks too much like an existing logo or a character someone else owns and you get sued.
Freepik won't help.
Freepik will not defend you. They will not cover your legal costs. They will not pay any damages. You, the user, bear 100% of the legal and financial risk.
That's huge. For commercial agencies, freelancers using this for client work, that's not just a footnote. That's a potential business-ending liability.
It's a massive consideration. And you can see why, maybe. Freepik's unlimited image model at that low price point. It likely financially prevents them from offering indemnification. They simply can't afford that risk profile.
So they shift that entire burden onto you.
Exactly. Which, as the analysis points out, arguably makes Freepik fundamentally unsuitable for high-risk primary image use in commercial projects. It kind of limits it to things like internal drafts, mood boards, maybe heavily modified elements.
Stuff where the legal stakes are lower. Okay. Now, by comparison, what about Google?
Well, Google's consumer terms do have disclaimers, like most services. However, their broader corporate strategy, like you see with Microsoft and Adobe, is generally moving towards offering IP indemnification for their enterprise AI products. It's about building trust.
Right.
Now, the source material doesn't explicitly state that the Consumer AI Ultra plan has full indemnification right now, but the absence of a clear, stark exclusion, like Freepik's, combined with that overall enterprise strategy, Well, it positions them as significantly less risky by comparison.
So it's less about a guarantee from Google and more about the glaring red flag from Freepik.
That's a good way to put it. This really underscores that you aren't just buying a tool here. You're making a profound risk management decision for your business.
Okay. Wow. A lot to think about there. So let's bring it all together. The big question: which one is right for you? Because as we've clearly seen, there's no single best choice here.
Absolutely not. It truly depends on your specific needs, your workflow, your budget, and as we just discussed, your tolerance for risk.
We've talked about the competing philosophies, Freepik's democratization of creativity through aggregation
Volume, convenience, market disruption.
versus Google's ecosystem integration and AI supremacy.
Premium feel, tech leadership, deep ecosystem lock-in. Different paths aimed at different users.
So let's try and break down some recommendations based on different creator types. What about, say, social media and content marketing agencies? High volume stuff.
Okay, for them, the analysis leans towards Freepik Premium plus FIO. It seems like the best value for that high volume image creation. You get the large stock library too, and enough video tools for short clips. But
The big butt.
the big but, you absolutely need to actively manage that legal risk. Maybe use the AI images as secondary elements, heavily modify them, or stick to lower stakes uses.
Got it. What about illustrators and freelance designers?
Similar recommendation, actually. Freepik Premium, plus again, it gives you access to all those diverse models, plus the stock content at an affordable price. Great for accelerating workflows, generating ideas without, breaking the bank, again, with the same risk caveat.
Okay. Now, switching gears. Independent filmmakers or high-end video creators, people really focused on cinematic storytelling.
For them, it's pretty clearly Google AI Ultra. Its superior native video tools, especially Flow, the better consistency features, and that much, much higher VO3 output capacity. That's crucial.
For them, the higher price tag is likely less of an issue compared to the creative capability they unlock.
Exactly. Their needs justify the cost. And the risk profile is likely more favorable, too.
And finally, what about corporate marketing departments? Maybe bigger teams within larger companies.
There, the recommendation is also Google AI Ultra. The deep integration with Workspace is a huge efficiency booster for teams. And critically, Google's overall alignment with IP risk mitigation makes it a much more suitable, more stable choice for corporate clients who are, quite rightly, very concerned about legal stability and protecting their brand.
That makes perfect sense. So the final verdict then. There really isn't a single winner in this deep dive.
Nope, no knockout punch. The more valuable platform depends entirely on your specific needs, your budget, and as we've hammered home, your tolerance for that legal risk factor.
So let's summarize that. Freepik is potentially more valuable for you
If your core need is massive static image generation, if you have a limited budget, and you value that all-in-one toolkit with the huge stock library, and if you fully understand and accept the legal risks of using AI content without indemnification, or maybe your use cases are inherently low risk anyway.
Choosing Freepik is basically a bet on the future of modularization and aggregation in creative tools, isn't it?
That's a great way to frame it, yes.
Okay. And Google AI Ultra is more valuable for you
If your core need is cutting-edge video creation, and you need the very best tools currently available for consistency and control, you're likely a power user who can really leverage that full bundled ecosystem, the 30 TB storage, the YouTube Premium, the deep Workspace integration.
which absolutely justifies the higher price for you.
Right. And you need or strongly prefer higher risk mitigation and a platform from a tech giant that seems to be moving towards stronger IP protection, even if it's not fully explicit on the consumer side yet.
So choosing Google is more of a bet on integration and proprietary ecosystems.
Exactly. A bet on deep integration winning out.
Okay, so here's a final thought maybe for you, the listener, to ponder as you weigh these options.
Go on.
Consider that Google AI Ultra's value is actually likely to increase faster over time. Why? Because of that deep ecosystem integration and Google's massive internal R&D engine.
That's a very interesting point. The platform itself could evolve more rapidly.
Right, so that $250 a month fee, maybe it's not just for the tools today, but it's almost like an entry fee into a continuously evolving, deeply integrated world of AI tools.
Potentially making it a worthwhile long-term investment.
For the right user, someone who's really looking to grow alongside the bleeding edge of AI development within that integrated ecosystem.
Food for thought, definitely.